Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another NFL news video. If you notice right off the bat that I am talking softer today, well, not soft enough to keep my dog in here, Buxton. Anyway, the reason is because my family member who I'm helping take care of is upstairs resting, and me yelling is just not an option today. Anyway, we've got a couple of interesting things to react to, including, obviously the biggest piece of news, and that's Aaron Rodgers finally signing a deal with the Steelers. But before we hop into the video, we got a couple of plugs as always. So don't forget to use code WyattzWorld on G Fuel, Waggle Golf, or Prize Picks. By using my codes on G Fuel or Waggle, you'll save a discount on any of their products, and by using it at sign up on Prize Picks, you're going to guarantee yourself to win a free $50 with your first $5 entry. But as always, please remember to play responsibly, and let's get into the video. Okay, so first piece of news here, and obviously the biggest piece of news, is Aaron Rodgers signing a one-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. At least that's what I was under the impression of. It's a one-year deal around $20 million, and this should come as a surprise to absolutely nobody. I mean, realistically, at this point, we all knew that Rodgers had visited the Pittsburgh Steelers. He had interest in joining the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Vikings passed on him. As far as I'm concerned, there were really no other teams that were in the running for him or that he really wanted to play for, so he chose the one place that desperately needed a quarterback, in my opinion, and you can't really blame him. Look, I give Rodgers a ton of crap. My dad gives Rodgers, more crap than probably anybody on the face of the earth. But man, if you're Aaron Rodgers and you had the career you've had and you still have the skill you have and you still want to play, that's the team you got to go to. They've got the coaching, they've got the defense. I don't think that they're going to win the division or anything, but I imagine they'll still be around 500, and DK Metcalf will have the best season of his career. I'm interested to see how this goes, because even this version of Aaron Rodgers is going to be the best quarterback they've had in a really long time. Now moving on, this is mildly concerning for the Commanders. Terry McLaurin has made it clear to the team that he is frustrated with the lack of progress on a long-term deal. And as previously reported, McLaurin unexpectedly left voluntary workouts after initially attending. Now, while this is definitely concerning, I wouldn't be all that concerned about him leaving. I don't think he will leave. He will get paid. They would be absolutely idiotic to not pay him. I think more so this is Terry just letting the team know, like, come on, shit or get off the pot. Give me my fucking money. And the thing about it is Terry is set to be a free agent next year. So the longer the Commanders wait, the more damage they're going to do to themselves here. Because for one, if you just pay him now, you're going to get the best deal that you're ever going to get. The sooner the better. But the longer you wait, the harder this is going to be to recover. Let's say you don't pay him and you agree that next year you're going to let him walk in free agency or explore options. Okay, well, you're just letting your best receiver go. Or let's say he agrees to play this contract out, absolutely goes off, wins Offensive Player of the Year, and then next year you're talking 40 to 50 million more dollars than you would have had to pay him right now. I legitimately don't know what the Commanders are waiting on, but they are being incredibly stupid. I wonder if taking Debo's dumbass deal has anything to do with this, assuming they took all of it. Moving on, we have some news about Ravens wide receiver Rashad Bateman. He has now signed a 3-year extension with the team up to $36 million. Now, he did just sign an extension last year, but after, having the best season of his career, he well deserved a new contract. And to be totally honest, I think he could have even gotten more. This is like comparable to Josh Palmer's contract, and I think Rashad Bateman is night and day better than Josh Palmer. I've always kept close tabs on Rashad Bateman. He was a former Minnesota Gopher. He was drafted in the first round. He's always been a good receiver. He's just had such a slow start to his career due to injuries and just, being hurt. But I think we are starting to see him turn a leaf here, and he could potentially be added to the conversation of guys like Nico Collins or Jamison Williams. Guys who were in the league for a couple years, had a slow start, but now are legitimate threats. So good for Rashad Bateman, and I think he's only going to continue to improve. Moving on, we have some pretty funny-ass news about the Atlanta Falcons. They made fun of themselves in a tweet without realizing it and had to post it. I'm just going to let you guys look at this picture and see if you can figure out what they did. You see it? I'm sure you do, but if you don't, they posted a picture of two of their players with the infamous 28-3. Further just making fun of their infamous meltdown years ago. The article says they might just want to retire both of these numbers to prevent further accidents, which is true, but maybe just retire one of them. Maybe 28, considering that is the number that will haunt them for the rest of eternity. Moving on, we have a report about the Colts. Apparently, they have parted ways with former chief personal exec Morocco Brown, one of the chief advocates for Anthony Richardson. I mean, I can't say that surprises me one bit, advocating for a guy who had played 17 games between high school and the NFL. That's absolutely insane. I'm guaranteeing they saw him make like one jump pass or one spin pass without looking at any of his other deeper analytics, like for instance his dog shit completion percentage, and said this is going to be our guy in the top 5. Right now it's looking like history is about to repeat itself with another Manning getting drafted by the Colts very soon. Okay, and now moving on, we have an immaculate grid, which I have had several people request I bring back, so why not? It's been a while. Down the side here, we got the Bears, the Panthers, and the Bengals, and across the top, we've got the Miami Dolphins, the Vikings, and only one team. Interesting. I mean, you could take a lot of easy ways out by picking younger players here, but we'll think. Anyway, let's start with the top row here. Bear or Dolphin? Gotta be a receiver or quarterback or corner. Oh, Jay Cutler. Smoking Jay, baby. He was elite. Bear Viking? I mean, there's a lot of different people we could choose there. We'll go Jared Allen. And only one team is a Chicago Bear. It's gotta be Sweetness. I don't think Walter Payton ever played for anybody else. He probably did, dude. Oh, fuck. How about Brian Urlacher? No, I'm gonna go with my instinct. Okay, that's right. Fun fact, they were both only Bears. Just looked it up. Now we've got a Panther Dolphin. Panther Viking and only a Panther. Panther Dolphin is Robbie Chosen. Panther Viking, I got a good one, dude. Jarius Wright. Ooh, that's under 1%. That was a good one. Then we got a Panther, only one team as a Carolina Panther. Luke Kuechly. Beautiful. He looks like a dentist, bro. And the bottom row, Bengal Dolphin, Bengal Viking, Bengal only a Bengal. Fuck it, we're going Joe Burrow here. Viking Bengal, that one, we have Trey fucking Waynes, baby. And then a Bengal Dolphin, Mike Gesicki. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Now moving back to Reddit, we have a little bit of a headline on Odell Beckham Jr. He claims he never ever wanted to leave the Giants. And if you read into this, it kind of makes sense as to what he's saying, but at the same time, part of me also thinks he's seeing Malik Neighbors right now thinking to himself, holy shit, that was at one point me, and if I would have just kept my mouth fucking shut, I could have stayed there and been the #1 guy for many years to come. But essentially, if you read into this article from NBC Sports, he just says that, you know, the reason he acted the way he did in New York wasn't because he didn't want to be there, but it's because of how he was trained at LSU. You know, one loss at LSU, your season's over, he's saying, in which, I mean, in college, that can kind of be right, especially back with the old playoff format. But again, part of me thinks that he's seeing Malik Neighbors out there right now, seeing what everyone's saying about him, all the hype he has, and he's just looking at himself in the mirror going, damn. Keep in mind, I support Odell Beckham. I've been a fan of him. I think he's one of the most talented receivers we'll ever see, but that doesn't mean that the guy wasn't, you know, kind of an asshole to have, because, I mean, the cameras saw him acting on the sidelines like he said the way he was, his interviews, his off-screen antics, but at the end of the day, I guess he did get a Super Bowl from the Rams, so he can't be too mad. And the last little piece here we have is once again about George Pickens. He claims he forced a trade out of the Steelers organization, saying they were gladly keeping me. That makes you sound like even more of a jackass. I don't know if you realize it or not, buddy. This guy is probably the most immature player I've ever seen. He's literally like Kadarius Toney, except actually kind of decent at football. So basically some Steeler fan tweeted, okay, I get it. George Pickens, timeline of trouble, a thread. Then George Pickens at Tupezi, and I looked this account up. It's not verified. Now it's private with a weird profile picture, but I think it's him. A lot of accounts that are affiliated with him all have it tagged. Anyway, he said, I play for the Cowboys. Stop reminiscing. Also, stop trying to justify the trade. Y'all just lost another good player to fake reports like this one. Then someone else responded saying, no, you were definitely the problem. They wouldn't have moved on from you for next to nothing if that wasn't the case. Where then George Pickens says he forced the trade. They were gladly keeping him. Have a nice day. Like, if that is indeed Pickens, like, I don't know what that does for him or what he thinks that does for him. Like, I think all in this one tweet, not only did he clarify that he was the problem, he clarified he still is the problem. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for today's little NFL news video. As always, if you did appreciate this video, show support because you guys know I appreciate it. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to get this edited so you guys can watch it on time and maybe try and get a weekend video out for you guys too. However, if it's not the case, I will see you guys on Monday. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and stay safe.